Welcome all of you risk takers and truth seekers to Podcast Live, the Battlefield. And today episode, you will learn what it takes to become the queen of the makeup. In few words, my client is going to explain not just who is she, but how she achieved and why the makeup is very important for the females. Why the men fantasizing about women in makeup, or maybe not. Maybe it's a makeup becomes industry we all seeing but forgetting. So, Chantel, welcome to the secret location.
Thank you, Mario, for having me.
You're welcome, Chantel. Look, I just share with our audience that Chantel Rahme is a queen of the makeup. But before we dig deep into that title of the queen, there's a lot of obstacles, a lot of murky waters, tears and pain. So in short few words, who is Chantel Rahme?
Wow, that's a big statement.
It is.
Who is Chantel Rami? So obviously I'm a makeup artist. I'm a makeup educator. And I love making people feel good.
You make people...
Love, that's me, whether it's in my work, whether it's outside of work. That's the core part of my heart, is making people feel good. It's probably why, I do have the success that I do today and women feel great and feel empowered. Because, that's Chantel Rami.
Chantel
Bottom
Rami.
line.
Listen,
I can sit and talk with titles and say this and say founder of CR Luxury Cosmetics,
Yes.
and talk more of it. But deep down, I love making people feel good.
Can you guide us into your beginnings, right? And I have you have the full authority and credibility to say you are the queen of the makeup. Unfortunately for our society, we are every day being blasted with the commercials and advertising with the very few in the makeup industry. And I want everybody takes with a grain of salt all these big names and make some slowly, degrees moving left to right. And you're going to see Chantel Rami, and her work. So can you guide us a little bit like Back to the Future, but in the past, your beginnings, Chantel?
Wow, how far back do you want me to go?
What do you think?
How young do I look?
About 21, 22.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
So just a year or two ago. I've always loved makeup. I mean, I think every girl sort of dreams of playing with makeup, and I grew up with my mum being one of an amazing hairdresser, and she was also a makeup artist before doing hair.
Okay.
I mean, her career was hair, but just me being a young girl and watching her apply makeup, and it's something I loved. And I think it's not just the idea of makeup, but it's also the idea of playing with colours and textures and that artistic side of it, which I love still to this day. So I grew up and was taking the law path. So I wanted to be a lawyer.
Okay, so
went to university.
Okay.
I was getting into property law, conveyancing and property law, and studying law and business and economics, and then it just didn't make me happy. And I think a lot of people follow what they're intended or need to do, or what tradition tells them to do, not actually what is right for them. So I just sat back one day and said, I'm really unhappy. And I had, quite a high up job in a law firm.
So you say to me, you're working in a field, you're going to university.
Yeah, and I was doing makeup only on the weekends at the time. I was my early 20s.
To be in law?
I was very unhappy. Yeah, it was. I mean, I loved, still to this day, if you can click my fingers and make me a lawyer, I think I'd be great at it. I think most people in my life,
Chantel Rami.
most people will agree that I could argue for hours. But, it's a great industry, but I think just the whole office atmosphere wasn't me. It just had me very mentally limited. I didn't feel that thrill. So, and I was doing makeup on the weekends, and I thought, why? Like, what's, and then I just decided to follow my creative path, and the path which I feel was my born right. It's something that I love, and it's who I am. It's who I am, and you can't take that out of someone.
So tell me.
So I followed, mum's path.
Mom's path.
Yeah.
So how this happened actually? Did you wake up one morning and you say, enough? I like to understand mechanics and
I know, right?
How
Well, like I said, I was already doing makeup on the weekends. So it's something that I loved, and I was so excited to get to jobs on Saturday, Sundays, but not Mondays. Into
It doesn't work with the law, yeah. Like
You know what I mean? And I loved
Yeah.
it. I loved the whole. It was just, I just one day I said, you know what? Okay, I've achieved this, and you're earning, stability and security, and I had to leave it and come back down to this and start all over again. You can imagine a new career,
Yeah.
a new path. You've got to build your clients. So I really went from stability,
from 100 to 0.
pretty much.
How many- how
back
many-
down to where you're not known, where you have to start from scratch and build it. But I don't regret it, not one bit. And I think having mum in that industry and having her clients also gave me a little bit of a push, because that's where I was
Yes.
practicing, and
Yes.
here we are. Yeah,
So may I ask you,
of course.
how much fear or anxiety
Mm-hmm.
or how to say danger of unknown was inside of you? Did you feel that, oh, I'm regretting doing this right now, even before you started? Or did you told yourself, I love what I do. I know I come from 100 to 0, from certainty, insecurity to unknown, fear and danger.
Mm-hmm.
How did you felt?
I'll be honest with you, I never thought about tomorrow.
Okay.
I never had that fear whatsoever. It was just something that sort of fell in quite naturally with me,
Okay.
that this was my path and it's what I need to do. So
So-
I never, if I was going to sit down and be a bit more mechanical and strategize, then I would have thought, oh no, like you can't do this, no, you can't do that, and you've hit this age, you need to continue with this. I never really thought about tomorrow. I took each day as it came, and to me, I was on the right path. It's what I needed to do. It was who I am. I never had any fear, and earning this much, going back down to this much, I just made it work. So you earn this much, you have that lifestyle. You earn this much, you have that lifestyle. So it's just a matter of working with what you have, I guess, and just making it work.
I want to know, to
Don't
the
think I
bottom.
could do it today, though.
No, that's okay. Today we change your lifestyles. Like
Completely different, but
I know
back
you're
then it
21
worked.
still. You're
Yeah,
still young.
21, amazing.
On that path, when you decided to stop the practicing law, you become makeup artist. You don't need name the people, but I like to know where did the people and who where they are who told you, Rami, do not do this. You're gonna regret whatever comes in your mind. Were there people who told you do not do it?
I have to say I was probably very lucky when it comes to family, because I 100% had their support, because I was already doing it. It wasn't sort of a career out of the blue.
Yeah.
They already saw my talent. They already saw how good I was at it. So really, family-wise, no, but people in the law industry or people in the
Friends?
just people in general that I said, oh, you know what, you're giving up law to do what?
You see?
Makeup was very sort of looked, not down upon, but it wasn't looked at.
It was.
It
I
wasn't
agree with
looked.
you.
It wasn't sort of looked upon as a, as the.
Can I help you
Yeah.
with that one? People who saw the makeup, the users of your services, maybe they're very highly qualified, educated people, but the same group of the people will see those who are applying makeup and doing makeup art as peasants. Make sense? Yeah.
Definitely.
So they were the people
That's
from the
right.
industry who
Yeah.
were till yesterday was your friends. Now,
Yeah. Yeah, it's just, it was very like, she's lost the plot, or maybe she's on something, like, well, what's going on? But people don't understand that makeup is not just, it's not just about applying makeup. It's, it's something that I do is also correction makeup. So being able to change someone's features or enhance or hide or whatever it is. So it's really a work of art.
So when you started, obviously started on your own, right? How did you know? Can you guide me? Me as a man, I try to understand now. So
Yeah.
you buy all this makeup, right? And how did you know what woman needs what type of makeup, and is that through education, or is this like watching
Definitely
YouTube?
with education, yes. I mean, like when I first started, so it's been 22 years since I've been in the, officially in the industry. There was no such thing as YouTube makeup. There was no such
Okay,
thing as,
okay.
you know what I mean? Like self-taught. Really, we were self-taught. I started out self-taught. Practice. I used to practice on my sister's friends, our neighbours. I used to take photos, go and get the photo digitally printed, and stick it into a book to go for job interviews. And they used to flick through a book. So there was none of that sort of, you know. So it was practice. It was dead hard practice with no YouTube being able to say, copy this girl or Instagram or TikTok where information is so freely available at the moment. So practice.
That is very interesting.
Yeah,
because we're seeing a lot of makeup artists, you know, on social media. Particularly like me, who I don't apply makeup,
but it still pops up on your feed,
continuously.
right?
And I'm like, why is that? You know what I mean? And then I think myself like, if everybody knows about makeup, how to do it, we don't need a makeup artist.
That's right. Yeah.
But you build your career. How difficult for you was to build your name in that industry? What was the obstacles you were facing by building your business as a woman?
If I had to build sort of now in these days, I think it would be a lot more harder.
Yeah.
Because everyone's sort of, you know, a makeup artist or can apply it on. Going back, there was sort of a handful, maybe, you know, 10 well-known sort of names in Sydney-based, and things were different. So if I was, you know, had a wedding booked, for example, this Saturday, and I was more than happy to say, you know what, I'm so sorry, I'm booked, but here's my friend's number, which is another very well-known, for example, makeup artist. Please give her a call. She might be able to fit you in. So that's where I come from. I come from a place where I'm so happy to share the love and share the workload. It's not just me for myself. So I think that got me to where I am today as well, building respect for yourself in the industry, both with clients and with other industry leaders as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, you know, obviously through that part, you know, you're walking, you're building your name.
Yeah.
Obviously without consciously thinking, I just going to become one day very, very well known. Do you mind to share with us, when did you felt or how did you felt, in what moment that you're reaching your full potential, is that you're happy what you're doing? Was that with the first client or the 10th client?
Well, I still don't feel I've reached my full potential, to be honest. I still feel everyone looks at me as the queen of makeup and the makeup expert, and I still love to learn.
Yes.
And I still feel that you've never really reached a stopping point. I think education is wealth in so many ways. But, you know, from the first client through to 22 years later, after every single face that I finish, I have a sense of pride inside of me where I feel, you know, that sense of achievement. You know what I mean?
Yes,
like, oh, she looked amazing. And you don't want to say that because, you know, you're almost saying, oh, my work is great. No, I'm just saying she looks so good.
Yes.
Like, I love it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I get this little giggle inside of me. So I have to say, honestly, probably after each face that I work on. Absolutely, each face that I work on.
You're so humble, you know.
No,
I know
that's really how I feel. That's my honest truth. Yeah.
That's I'm saying, because I know you from our mutual friend, and we spoke before. And me as a man, it's a little bit different to talk about makeup. Doesn't matter what research I've done till today about makeup. I'm just a man, you know what I mean? I'm just a man who love to see the makeup on a woman, I'm upset with to seeing that women applying wrong makeup or being educated to the couple so-called influences online how to do makeup, and people are doing a lot of these things with those who are practicing very little or not very little. Behind you is 20 years and you become the queen. So how did you expand your little empire? Did you start talking to the people industry overseas, or
I've always, with regards to my brand,
Yes.
CR Luxury Cosmetics, I travelled overseas. I went to New York, but it's something in me that I've always wanted to do. I always dream sort of now, a lot of people sort of have it, but this was sort of back where we only had the large staple brands. It was something that I wanted to do, and I started it actually many years ago.
okay?
Many years ago, but I started it with something called private labeling, where they sort of mass make it and you just print your name on it and it's done. And then I sort of did that and was like, you know, I stopped. I got him home. You know, I sold a couple of I sold that little batch that I did. It just didn't feel right for me. You know, being known as the makeup expert, I sort of felt that I wanted to be involved in every single process of the cosmetic process, not just sticking my name to make a buck and it's done. So I want people who actually use my products to know that I've actually created it from scratch and worked very closely with a cosmetic manufacturer.
Give us more, like, how these things work actually. Like this
it's not easy.
I know it's not easy. That's what I'm asking you, because
Not easy.
everybody cannot bullshit. This is the crucial question I ask every my guest, and every my guest, it is unique by default as yourself, and you created yourself. Now you are taking pride to say, no, I don't give that F word, for the mass labeling, And
which is a much easier process to do. I'd have a whole range overnight, delivered tomorrow, done. Third of the cost, making, people will sell it because it's got the name on it. But I take pride in the back steps to it.
But that requires time, money.
Definitely. It took me 3 years. Yeah. Took me 3 years in 2, 3, 4 in the morning, 5 in the morning, and then back up to start work at 7 in the morning. Took me so many years of no sleep, of dedication. Speaking with companies who don't know me, I don't know them. So trying to build a relationship, and trying to build a relationship with companies who I want to see my vision, not just say, yep, you know what, we can make lipsticks. Here's our prices. I didn't want that. I wanted to sort of build, I guess. If you look at the lipsticks on the packaging, it's got one thing on it that reminds me of every step, and it's made with love. So every step that I did, I made sure was the right step, and it wasn't a business decision. It was a decision that...
it's a legacy.
Yeah, it's what I wanted to leave, which is why I only started, in lipsticks, but I wanted to create a lipstick that was different to every other lipstick.
Okay, so, just curious as a man, what takes to create a lipstick? Because, I walk to the shopping center, seeing
thousands of options.
Of them,
100%.
And I know that at least 50% of those ones are the mass labeling, right?
Yeah,
so what it takes to be the lipstick? What women should know about your lipstick that stands out from other ones?
Yeah, definitely. Lipstick. Well, with CR Luxury lipsticks, like I said, it took me 3 years in making the formula, just the formula. We hadn't even moved on to packaging. But what I wanted is when I was, when I'm working on clients and I'm applying lipsticks on clients, I noticed a little bit of a gap. So I'd go out there to buy products for my kit, and I could always notice that, for example, my client would come to me and say, oh, you used this red lipstick on so-and-so last weekend. Can you use it on me? Of course, I've got it in the kit. So I'd apply it on her. Looks completely different. Okay. So then I noticed that, okay, hold on. Why can't we have lipstick that actually adjusts to people's skin tones? So they warm up with the pH levels of the lips, which is what makes my lipsticks, the ones in the red packaging, what makes them different. So if I put on this colour and you put on this colour, it actually starts to adapt to your natural skin colour.
Okay.
So then it suits everyone. So rather than a woman going out trying to find the perfect red lipstick or the perfect nude lipstick, you have one that actually warms up to the pH levels of your lips. So we call it oxidizing as well. And you've got it just so that was the technology. That is why it actually took me 3 years, because I wanted to try and find, and it's never been done. Which is why we're working on doing some trademarks and the formula and things like that, so that way it cannot be sold or copied.
3 years.
3 years, and which is why I only started. Everyone's like, why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? I'm like, you don't actually understand what I've done. So the formula is not just another lipstick, and they're so pigmented and so intense in colour that you only need a little dot to go a long way. So your lipstick's actually lasting you 2 years, 3 years, rather than just 6 months and you're back in store to buy another one. So the technology behind it would have to be one of my biggest, not so much struggle, but, something I was trying, because it hadn't been done before. So it wasn't like, okay, you guys manufactured these lipsticks, just make them for me. It was literally made from scratch, and then back and forth, and samples being sent back and forth, and then getting family to test them and getting feedback. And then, do you get what I mean? So, yeah.
3 years, like, if I see you tomorrow on the street, like, I don't know who you are, just like the lady just doing makeup art. She's a makeup artist, apologies. But being sincere like yourself, you see, this is credibility, authority in a business. every day we're meeting people who are telling us how they're successful they are. But nobody tells me their mechanisms, how they're done, how they achieve. I can go in the past as well, like you, and say, like, I know how it's for me. I know I have no money. I know who lent me money, who bought me first laptop, and all this drama. Same with you. And I congratulate you, Chantel. Not just take the balls for this, but or the courage. Definition, you rewrote definition of resilience, literally, because 3 years of working on one product, it takes toll on you, physical, mental, emotional.
Definitely, yeah.
Financially, obstacles, family,
Yeah.
sacrifices in time, love, emotions, everything. And you did it. Can I share something with you, as a man?
Thank you.
So,
yeah.
as a kid, I don't remember, in 70s and 80s when I was going to school, and we had some teachers where they come with a red nail polish, red lipstick, the all teachers look same. We are like, oh my God, this is like we fall in love. We're so kinky then, just the lipstick.
Yeah.
And my father will tell me, all these women wearing the red makeup, they are sluts. And so like, my God, what's wrong with you? Because my mom, she's like, she's literally didn't get in dime for nothing.
Yeah.
Even on her wedding photos, she was looking terrible. But the thing is,
sure she looked great.
no, she was just.
I think looking after yourself and self-appearance is very
so
important.
So share me this, son, how women should look after themselves on the physical appearances, including the makeup, and why they should look after themselves, Chantel? You have experience, so like you have credibility and authority to share your knowledge and wisdom and insights with everybody. Everybody says different, they really should, be quiet. So please tell me why the women should look after themselves, the physical appearance, and why they should look into the makeup.
I think it's so important. I think it goes way behind makeup as well. I mean, I said like that was 3 years, and still the last 7 years, I don't think I've had a full night's sleep. But I still make the effort, because I need to be awake with the US, because I deal a lot with the US and etc. But I think it's really important for a woman to wake up, and her appearance is her self-respect. So if I'm going to be just, in shorts and a sloppy top and, you know what I mean, and I haven't slept, or I've got 5 kids, or I've got 1 kid, or I need to get up to it. But so does the lady next door, and so does the lady next door to her. And so I think that's one thing that you can do for yourself is taking care of yourself, even in the smallest little way. You know what I mean? And then coming into makeup, which we understand a lot of partners, a lot of men, let's not lie, don't like makeup. I agree. But it's your chance to apply it very softly, very, very delicately if that's the case, to still enhance some features and make you look, make you feel good first and foremost. And second of all, I think taking appearance in yourself, doesn't matter if you have 1 hour of sleep, and you've got to run to the office and you've got children and this and this and that. I think that's your chance it reflects who you are.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think if you're looking good this way, it also shows that you're doing other things right in life. Your home's in order, your work's in order, your kids are in order, you've got a happy husband, whatever it is. It starts with something little, but it actually leads to a bigger
what I like about this conversation with you, I said this as a person, as a human being, we are saturated with the reality TV shows, right? And some from time to time, late night, I'm just switching the TV, and there was what's it called? This extreme makeover, right? And I don't think this extreme makeover, it's a really extreme makeover, except they brush the teeth and they. And,
actually, it's funny that you're saying that.
Tell me, extreme makeover.
I laugh because it's really just gone from someone who hasn't brushed their hair or brushed their teeth.
And I'm like, I said, what you just wash the hair, brush the teeth, and put some little bit of makeup and some tight undies, you know what I mean, and the G-strings, and that's it, boom, man.
Yeah, because like I said, it reflects, I think, and a lot of people say, oh, but I can't afford to do this. And but you don't need to afford to get your nails done or do, you can sit down and at least paint them at home with a $2 bottle of nail polish that will last you a year. Do you get what I mean? So you work on whatever level you have. Yeah. But the Extreme Makers, they're hilarious and they're fabulous. It's a great show. But when you really look at the steps of what they've taken for it, it's really just getting someone who can't be bothered.
Imagine for you're the expert in this. And I'm sitting there, it's like, okay, they brush the teeth, you know what I mean? They clean it, you know what I mean, obviously.
Which is something we really should be doing every day.
Yeah, they wash her hair and they apply some makeup, and she walks in the high heels and some
Yeah.
tight jeans. It's like, well, that's the same person. It's not like she's been on a plastic surgery,
Yeah.
reconstruction, DNA or something.
I mean, yeah, if it was plastic surgery, it would be like, wow,
Yeah.
like, where's his number? Can we book in?
Yeah.
But, everyone can sort of improve in some way. But yeah, those shows are great. But I think it just gets people out of their stuck rut,
Yeah.
into feeling good. And then hopefully they just sort of maintain.
Let's go dig into
Maintain that.
something darker. We just we're talking about this, but it's a dark topic. You as a woman, you servicing a lot of women, and in conversation, you learning the moment when the women stop look after themselves, and the moment when they start looking for you to look better. Can you tell me, in conversation with your clients or people you know, the women around you, family, what is the moment where women stop looking after themselves, and the reason why they start looking after themselves after a certain period of time, not doing nothing?
Listen, I don't think women come to me so much for me to look after them, because I'm only doing one thing, and it's enhancing what they already have.
Yes.
People come and sit on my chair and go, "Can make me beautiful." And I look and I'm like, are you kidding me? You are beautiful. Every single woman is beautiful.
Yes, it is.
But, I just bring out, or maybe educate.
Yeah.
Maybe educate them how they should be applying their makeup in a certain way. You don't need to have big dark smoky eyes and a big bold lip to look like you've done your makeup. It can be very soft, but if it's applied nicely in the right way. But women tend to, everyone goes through different things. I've been through it. A lot of other women are through it, either whether it's through depression, whether it's through, I don't know what women go through. It could be, not being able to sort of handle the day-to-day
Kids, family,
kids,
husband,
family,
boyfriends,
husband,
whatever
and
it is.
everybody obviously works, and breakups or losing a job, or through COVID, so many people mentally are still recovering. So everyone sort of goes through their own thing, but looking after yourself, number one should be for yourself, because it does make you feel better. And that confidence comes through with every single person that you speak to throughout the day. Whether it's someone when you're catching the train, or the ferry, or whoever it is. So I think that confidence comes out where if you've sort of come up and you've looked in the right, and some people don't know how to do that either. But bringing that part of you out influences everybody around you. Your partner looks at you a little bit different. Your confidence comes out to the clients that you deal with, or the work people that you deal with. I do a lot of Zoom calls as well. So I don't sort of just throw on my trackies and then jump on, even though they can't see me. I still make that effort
to
look my part.
Yeah.
And that also comes out in how I'm responding to them.
Yeah.
And comes back down to confidence.
Confidence. That's
I think,
good word,
I think women that get stuck in not looking after themselves are starting to lose that confidence.
There's no reason for anybody to stop looking after themselves.
There's no reason, no. But everyone
Has a different.
Everyone has a different. So some people go through depression, anxiety. A lot of people deal with things a lot differently. So when I personally go through things, I step back off social media.
Yeah.
That's my point. That's my point.
Yeah.
Some people don't do that, but they don't look after themselves. So I think it's really important in a lot of ways to look after yourself. And you don't need money. Can I just say that?
Yes, please say this.
You
This
don't
is your show.
need a lot of money. People say, but I can't afford new jeans and I can't afford... You can afford anything. Everything can be done these days, and that's probably the lucky part of living in Australia, is that you can look just as good as the person who's gone to buy the $500 pair of jeans in a $10 pair of jeans. Do you get what I mean? Like, you don't need to... That's what I was trying to say. You don't need to always...
I think the brand
you need to choose how you spend it.
Works only for the limited purpose show off. Look at my brain. Look, personally, I don't understand why people need to stipulate that have some brand on themselves, because after all, the suit makes men look better. Right? The woman, the dress and everything.
Of course,
else. But in hindsight, we are not designed to wear the brands 24/7, and I don't understand that emphasis on a social media. Look at me, I have this, I have that, and sometimes I say very loud. Those who showing me that they have a brains, I think they have nothing in their life. They
Yeah,
come.
because they've spent it all on the brands.
Yeah, so that's it. But another on the hindsight, my conversation with you, I become so excited because so many questions come into my mind when I
Yeah.
talk about makeup. So the my question with you it is, when we talk about lipstick,
Mm-hmm.
right? Now I'm gonna ask as a man, right? As a man.
As a
Guys, it's just
man.
as a man.
Mario the man.
The man is like bigger lips, better lipstick, more lipstick. Is that a case? Because I can see last maybe 2 decades, there's a lot of this. I'll call the Botox. I could lie. I don't know what's going inside, but I can see that the
Filler.
women, yeah,
Yeah, lip
you know.
fillers.
So the lips. I'm talking about face. Talk about lips. What is your perception about enhancing the lips?
Listen, I'll be honest. I'm not against it,
Okay.
but I think it's if it's done, in a lot of people just sort of run in, get injected, and leave without researching where they're going. So I think it's very, very, very important to go somebody who's obviously very skilled and skilled at natural. So I think personally, if a woman needs to have something enhanced, go for it. I think
Yeah,
it's great. But if it's done very nice and very soft,
Subtle,
this is
yeah,
probably
not
one thing where the bigger is not necessarily the nicer. A lot of people think that they need to have more and more and more, but less is actually more. So if you need a little bit of enhancement, why not? If they've missed out on lips, I think it's a great thing. But if you go to someone who's skilled and someone who can give you that beautiful natural shape, not pillows on your lips, do you know what I mean? Where they might feel good, but a lot of people are thinking otherwise when they're looking at them.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes,
And
yes.
it's very obvious to have that fake sort of look in. So I think anything that's done to enhance with filler or Botox, but it looks quite soft, quite natural, or even a little bit above that natural look, it's fine. But when it's gone too much and then it starts to look,
Yes.
I guess each to their own. People go through phases where they want to at least try it. But me personally, I think less is more.
Less is more, yeah.
But nothing wrong with getting it done. I think it's absolutely fabulous if you need it, especially Botox, for wrinkles. If anybody needs it, just smooths out the lips, or not the lips, sorry, Botox, the wrinkles around the eyes, around the forehead. I think it's great. It's going to make you look fresh.
Look,
it's going to make, if anyone needs it, why not?
If John Travolta can do it, everybody can do it.
Yeah, and he does it quite, he's not on the soft side. He's quite obvious.
But
he's,
let's just say about man, Tom Cruise.
yeah.
What do you think about him? He doesn't age, but I was watching documentary. He is into makeup heavy, and as well Botoxing, but on a subtle way, as you
A
say.
lot of men are into Botox, and I think it's, like I said to you, it's got a lot of taboo stuck with, but I think it's fabulous. Once again, it has to be done in a very soft. People shouldn't let their face go wrinkly, and then one injection is going to take you back 20 years. Whereas if you do it very small amounts, soft amounts over the years, eventually you won't need that much, and it maintains. Do you know what I mean? But with regards to men, I think it's, a lot of men do it because they have migraines.
Somebody comes to you, some woman, or some, let's just say, people who's watching this interview, they want to know where to go do the Botox or the fillers. You know.
Of course, I've got, Dr. Joseph Hekik, All Saints Clinic. It's where I send all my clients.
Guys, I'm going to put in the section,
Yeah,
comment section
he's-
below, details of the Chantel.
He's the only even clients who I haven't referred, but they've come to me, and I can tell that they've
Doctor's
had a
a
bit of
doctor,
work
yeah.
done. Yeah, and I'm like, the topic is, clients are more than welcome to sit on my chair and feel free and open to talk about it. No judgment. They can tell me what they've done, what they haven't done. But Dr. Jess is probably one that I trust when it comes to that natural, that natural finish, and that maybe because I've got a very strong attention to detail.
Yes. See, but that's
his attention to detail, and I can look and go, she's like, yeah, I've had it done. I'm like, and who's done it for you? This is a good job. And it always ends up being All Saints Clinic. So by far, it's just, this is not an advert whatsoever, but it's just someone who really from the bottom of my heart, that do great jobs. And I'm sure there's people who I haven't come across that do amazing work, but I will always recommend who I think
Are we going to put in the comment section below?
Natural,
So you can contact Chantel, and she's going to direct you where to do it, and obviously with extremely satisfying results, rather than being floating around, as Chantel says, and you just go quickly, rush to do things and without research. Is there any makeup you will say to your customers to be very careful about? Because we don't know where the makeup comes. Obviously, we know your one, but there's a lot of makeup on a market which personally I saw in some of my counterfeiting investigations. They're very not healthy for the health, very unhealthy. Is there anything somebody should be aware of, any type of the makeup for women?
Listen, I think with regards to ingredients,
Yes.
For me, something that's got a high level of alcohol in it, generally that goes back to skincare, tends to work backwards. So if you're buying a moisturizer that has high levels of alcohol in it, that's actually going to strip and dry your skin, which the average consumer won't actually know that. Do you get what I mean? So I think education, once again, is very important. But how much education can you do when there's hundreds of thousands of brands in all levels, going from supermarket to, to your high level brands? How much can you? And sometimes what you pay for is not necessarily any better
Yes.
or any worse. Do you get what I
Any
mean?
worse,
So I think, if women don't want to go too deep into ingredients and want to stick to a budget that they want to stick to, I think the way they apply it is much more important.
Okay.
So if they have education in how to actually apply it on, very soft. If they want to put foundation on, but in the right areas, you don't need to have layers and layers and layers and layers and layers on. And you also don't need to have nothing, completely nothing on and look like you've just sort of just woken up. And so I think it comes back down to education. So applying it in the right areas, very softly, just to enhance, make you look a little bit of awake if you haven't had much sleep. And
You know, like about you don't talk in a way that they need a lot of makeup, a lot of lipstick, a lot is, because that'll be good for your business. But instead of this, you educate
I'm very honest.
everybody. Yeah, very
but
honest.
I'm very honest. I tell a lot of people tell me, they come in and I've applied the CR Luxury lipsticks on them. I've put the lip liner, the lipstick, the gloss, and then oh my god, I love it. And then I tell them. I mean, maybe that's the side of me, the non-business side of me. But I'm like, you probably don't need all three. If you don't want to buy all three, more than welcome. Of course, for business, I would love you to buy all three. But I'll be honest, so, if you just want to touch up on today's wedding, maybe the lipstick, maybe the gloss would be enough. You probably don't need the liner, for example. So I think sometimes I'm like, really, Shan? You should be. But I'm not. I'm really honest when it comes down to that stuff. So even with recommending products, skincare products, I'm really doing it from what's been tried and tested from my heart, not from a selling point of view, or you need to go to this place, they'll do your lips, or you need to go to have your facial here.
Let's go talk about attraction and seduction.
Let's do it.
Let's go do this one.
Attraction.
Yes, exactly.
Seduction. Love it.
Distraction comes at the end. Okay, attraction and seduction. He sees the girl, she sees the him. Let's go for date. And your advice to every girl with the makeup going on a first date or leaving impression? Is that a lot of TikTok tutorials and many foundations?
Yeah. I mean, I think it depends on what level the girl is at. Like, does she really want to impress, or is she sort of over dating and going on another one? But I think let personality speak louder than what your face does.
So makeup actually...
But I love
like
makeup. I mean, you're talking to me. It's who I am. I mean, but you'll see me probably 5 days out of the week without it. But I still make the effort to have my skincare on and to look good. So even if, if I was seeing someone or bumping into someone, you still look fresh and you still look, you know what I mean? But date-wise, I think it's nice to impress.
Okay.
Give us
more.
If I sit back and go, sit there I think it's nice to be yourself. So I think it's nice to show up on that date being who you are. So let him see who you are from day one.
But
rather than, like going into the date with very minimal, nothing, and then 2 weeks later you're like, you know what I mean, so much. Or the other way around. Or having your makeup done professionally to go on the date, and then 2 weeks later you're like, what's happened? Do you know what I mean? I think just be yourself. But it's very important to apply a little bit of makeup on to show that you are a woman who looks after yourself. It all comes back so much more to makeup. It shows that you're looking after yourself, which then shows that you respect yourself, which then shows that you take value in every part of your life, whether it's your home, yourself, your work, whatever your situation, partner, children, family. So it goes way beyond just applying a little bit of makeup. It actually shows who you are as a person. But on a date, I think be yourself.
Yes.
But it's nice to impress. It's nice to, it's nice. I think it's really important, to be honest. Yeah.
I was just thinking something like back in my days when I was young and a lot of datings and, well, a lot of waiting in a
I'm
relation.
sure you dated a lot.
Yeah, well, not at the beginning, but, later on in my life I did, because finally I realized I need to be the man, not just to write love story songs and, cry me a river.
Mm-hmm.
Makeup and perfume. Can you marry them together?
100%. For me, perfume is by far, how do I explain, the most important part of how a woman smells.
Yeah.
Together with a nice, soft, feminine makeup application, I think those two really override any outfit that you could wear, any shoes that you can put on, any expensive jewelry that you could have on. Just having those and being able to give someone eye contact and be visually appealing with how you've applied your makeup and how you smell, hands down. I'm a big perfume person.
I think that many women is going to come to you right now. They're going to say, ladies, feel free, and the guys, of course, feel free to come in the comment section below. It's a Chantel Details. Give her love, support, and ask her all questions in relation to your physical makeup, appearance, perfumes, and,
of course. And
being that seduction material.
Yeah, and completely judgment-free. Everyone's, free to speak and ask whatever they want, of course.
Let's go more now on weddings, right? I'm very curious about weddings. Weddings is not just a bride, right? She's in the center of attention, right? But tell me, guide us to the process, like when you have the bridesmaids, I don't know, 4+ or maybe less if you like it. What time you start doing that makeup, and how do you, how do you manage to do all these women together? I mean, we talk about, let's say, 3 women minimum.
Time management,
yes.
Organisation is one thing, again, that I implement very strongly in my life in general, but definitely in my work. For example, when I have a bride who books me in, I speak to her to confirm the time. But my first question is not, what time do you want me to start? Because that's not her role to tell me what time she wants me to start. I need to organise my time. So if she's booked 4 bridesmaids, a bride, mother of the bride, generally,
I forgot
course, the mum.
I forgot another tool.
The mum's much more important than the bride on the wedding day. So what I do is I say, what time do you guys need to be finished by?
Yes.
What time do your photographer come in if she's having, that sort of getting ready? Then I work backwards.
Okay.
So, but generally we start, it can be any time, 3, 4, generally 5:36 is the most common, and depending on the number of people.
AM, right?
AM.
AM. Like in the morning?
Yes,
like
AM. Well, the bride needs
sunrise.
to make her, before the sunrise. Most Saturday, Sundays, occasionally Fridays. Yeah, I'm up and on the road by 5:15, but every job's completely different start time. So if I start at 7, that's a really good sleep-in. That's like, loving this one. But generally, you're at least on your second or third phase
so when you
by
walk
that
there,
time.
like obviously, you're bringing all your tools with you and everything else. But before, obviously that's the secret of your business. You ask them what they want, or when you're already there, you already make your assessment.
So what I do is I look at everything as a whole.
Yeah.
So very rarely people say, listen, this is what I want, and show a picture. And I need to explain that people who show me pictures, it's great because I get a visual sort of feel of what they're after. But I need to adapt that look to your eye shape, to your face shape, to your skin tone. Do you get what I mean? So if I'm going to copy and paste exactly, you're going to look silly. So I think what people don't do is they copy exactly what's in the picture onto their face without actually adapting it to their eye shape or to their skin color or to, to actually suit them and their personality.
Yes.
So by the time, I have a bride who comes, I've generally met her a few times or I've known her for years, so I tend to know their personality. Okay. And you ask, are you having a theme? What sort of flowers are you having? And from the personality, someone who's a bit more sort of louder and outgoing to someone who's a bit more soft, more soft spoken.
Yes,
so you tend to adapt the makeup on everything. So the color of the dress. So sometimes people don't go traditional white; they might go off-white or champagne. To the color of the flowers, to stories that they tell you. You tend to sort of build a relationship with their personality. So a lot of the times I get there and go, I've got the perfect look in my head. I want to create it for you.
Look, that's a
a lot of people give you that freedom to create a look that I feel would suit their personality, as well as rather than just a traditional bridal look that every bride's had, with the soft eyes and the soft lips, and then it doesn't, you don't stand out as being different. So it's nice to have that look where you're like, let me create something for you, but still going to be soft, it's still going to be very elegant if that's the look you're going for, but to suit your facial features.
How do you feel when you see the wedding was very successful?
I love it.
Yeah, I love it.
I do.
That's why
really.
I have no tissues now to give you.
I know. I love
like,
seeing all my brides, and I've just never seen, whether it's my bride or any bride. I've just love that moment. Yeah.
I know it sounds silly question, but we recently saw the reality TV show, so-called Married at First Sight, and you saw those brides, right? And like I would try to understand what is going on there. So it's totally different personality makeup on a wedding day. Everybody's like a Virgin Mary sort of type, like, oh my God, which clearly they're not, right? But then on those dinners, like the makeup is screaming at, like literally. You can feel me now. Tell me as a man, like, it's like a Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde on that wedding, like honestly, like a man that's like, she's all like innocent, right? And then on those dinners, like, my God, like whatever that call these things in around the eyes, like they're extending up to here, like the nail polish is just like, I said, God, this is a lot. What do you think about those?
Listen, I personally think that there's no right or wrong.
Oh, okay, interesting.
Right?
Yeah,
no right or wrong. I think a woman expresses her personality through her nail polish and through her makeup.
That's what you said. Yes, yeah.
Very, very important to give people sort of that judgment-free space to be themselves and express themselves through that. But then again, it goes back to what I was saying earlier with the way that it's applied. So if they have the education to apply it in a certain way, then it's applied a bit more nicer and a bit more softer while still expressing their personality. That's a difference.
Okay.
Right? And going back to bridal makeup as well, it's, I'm quite well known in the airbrush makeup, which is one of the oldest method of makeup. It's very lightweight, sort of like the Ferrari, Lamborghini, Rolls-Royce of makeups, right? Where it doesn't smudge off, so it won't keep when she's kissing the groom, it doesn't smudge onto the groom, doesn't rub off, and it's very lightweight and it doesn't move. So that I get requested a lot because you're able to look flawless or photoshopped without that screaming.
Look, as a man, like you saw very much, right? But as a man, right?
Yeah.
I'm seeing the lady there on altar, some type of altar, whatever it is. There's the ceremony. They all look like a very like so virgin type look, right? And makeup as well. And then go for those dinners. My God, like I was just like, God, the hair, the extensions, the eyes is like makeup is like this, like a Robocop. Like the nails. And it's like that's not even seduction. That's a screaming for attention, right?
It is.
And me as a man, it's like it's far a little bit too much. Plus all this, size 5. The skirts. Like it just have some little on them. So that was for me that question. Now, but when you're speaking about that airbrushing, anything else, something else comes across my mind. You may not answer. So you created your own lipstick, right? And in many movies, wives find out the husband cheating on her by washing his white shirt and there was a red lipstick on the collar. Your one doesn't wash it.
Mine does not wash off.
That's what it is. Like.
So we know where men are sending their women to these days.
Jokes aside.
Yeah.
So tell me something about your business. So what your business does? What are you doing apart? How are you going to describe your business? I know it's makeup artist, but you make it feel people good. But what services are you offering to everybody?
Yeah, so obviously I do airbrush makeup. That's something I've been doing for a very long time. It's probably my most requested. Also the founder of CR Luxury Cosmetics. So that's what I do most of the time. I do photo shoots. I do editorial work. And that's what I do.
That's interesting.
That's what I do. I don't like to
That's a
sort of
business.
extend services out just so much to have sales or so much. I like to sort of be an expert in a certain area. So which is why I've stuck to makeup. I also do airbrush makeup and my cosmetics brand.
If somebody
which I'm
comes
expanding
to you, somebody
soon.
comes to another lady comes to you, or the guy, I'm not sure. Is there many guys in makeup industry?
Listen, as in makeup artists?
Makeup
Definitely,
artists,
yeah.
Really?
Yeah, and one of the most talented. Definitely, yeah. There's male makeup artists.
Okay, I'm just
Very,
obviously
very
obsolete,
common. No, very common,
Also
and they're
maybe-
absolutely fantastic at what they do.
Okay, so
Yeah,
somebody comes
definitely.
to you, male or female,
Yep.
no midgets, no mermaids, male or female comes to you and say, Rami, Miss Rami, I like to know from you 2-3 tips to start my business. What would those 2 or 3 tips to be anybody starting the business?
Okay, so starting this generation to compare to when I started, I would be given completely different
Okay,
advice.
right
But right now, I would say your makeup kit is very important. When we first started back in the days, we had to have everything in the kit to be able to. These days, I have very minimal. So I have quality and I have minimal, and you have to learn the art of mixing and making things work. So rather than having 13 bottles of foundation in my kit, I have, for example, 4 or 5. And you learn to mix. So I'll be able to do from the fairest of the skin through to the darkest of skin based on exactly what I have in my kit. That's number one. So they don't need to go out and obviously, get too excited, and it's very overwhelming. There's so many options out there. Number 2 is education. Never stop educating yourself. And still to this day, not long ago, I did an education with Katy Perry's makeup artist.
Okay.
We did it online. So never keep learning. So never be at a point where you know everything, because that's wrong. In life in general, that's wrong. So education. And number 3, I would say learn to listen to your clients.
Important.
Don't go, very important. Don't go in there with a vision that today I'm going to go and do a big eyeliner, big lashes, because that's in your head and that's the look that you want to do. Actually take a second and get to know your client. Speak, about things, get them to show you things, and actually listen to what it is that they want. Because when you connect on a listening level, you become friends, and you also master the makeup, because you've achieved exactly what that person wants and exactly bringing out that person's personality, which is very important.
You said this very well. Thank you for that one. This is a very beautiful statement, because you said one crucial element most of people doesn't say, it's to listen your client. It's not what you want, but what a client wants. And you said it's very profound and professional way to learn to listen. What was the biggest trick, or what's the biggest setback people going online and try to pick up the makeup from some other person? As I told you, TikTok. There's a lot of those ones, and I must say I'm shocked, because I saw some people who are really, really different. When they put the makeup, is totally different person there, right? And that's a heavy makeup. But if people go online on TikTok to learn the makeup or apply the makeup, what would you tell them?
To learn, I mean, TikTok's great because obviously it makes products in the front line of social media. And, when something's socially trendable, people go out and buy it. So it's a business tactic, right? But with regards to learning, I think it's nice to watch and see what other women are doing. But you don't necessarily have to copy exactly what's going on. I'm a big believer in trying things on for yourself and what works for your skin. I don't try something because it's gone viral. On TikTok and etc. And half the time, this is just my opinion, half the time it won't work on you, because it's not for your skin type or your skin coloring or your, you need to make things work for your type. Yeah. So, it's great. It's good to watch, but it's not something you need to copy.
You remind me of my ex-wife.
Oh, that's great.
No,
Don't hate me.
I got to tell you, they're going to laugh this one. And I do remember, she will she'll come in the bed and she'll use all these
serums,
cleaning the face for 45 minutes. And I was like, God, man, I'm just going to go in retirement by the time she's finished. And in the morning, there will still be brown smudges on a pillow. And somehow that'll be my fault, right? Because I don't know how. And then you...
Because you didn't cleanse her face.
Yeah,
properly.
like 45 minutes. And I would say, like, you know, listen, are you for real? Like, how long take this thing? Then don't put on your face. And I think that was actually tactics, you know, we put more so I could go sleep and, you know, not ask for the Nutella jar. But the thing is, thank you for the sharing these ones, Chantel. For the end, how the people can find you?
Okay, so I've obviously got my website, so www.chantelrami.com. Instagram, I'm quite active on there, and it's also Chantel Rami, so ChantelRahme. That's my Instagram, and yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, Chantel Rami, feel free, contact her in comment section below. It's her details. I'm going to put all socials, give her support, give her love. And if you have any questions about makeup, how you feel, how to do marriage between makeup and perfumes, how you feel good, Rami, she's your person. Rami, thank you very much.
Thank you so much for having me, Mario. It was a great chat. Thank you.
We are done for today.